Welcome to the first show. Like I told you earlier, as we were going for a break, we will be having the discussion on women in business. Now, on March 8th itself, we have the discussion of women in politics. What are those challenges that women are facing in politics, and how can we deal with them? What are the solutions? Katidero, we're going to see women in business as members of parliament, of course, discussing the succession bill. And they're discussing the ownership of property between men and women, and they're saying that property that the man had before marriage will not be put in the marriage bill when they divorce. They, however, say that the succession bill will also cater for people who die without leaving a will. Now, I want to welcome my guest, that is Juanita Nasuna, who is the Program Assistant, Women and Economic Justice, Siatini, Uganda. She'll be telling us what Siatini, Uganda does, and she'll be telling us exactly what it is that this bill that the Parliament is trying to pass means, and what is the conversation in Uganda about women owning property from their spouses when their spouses pass away. Very good morning, Juliet. How are you doing?
Good morning, my dear. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
We're glad you could join us on the first show where we're discussing women matters, something I'm very passionate about, and I'm sure it's something you're passionate about too.
Of course I
Okay, well, we're glad to have you. Let's start with Siatini Uganda and what exactly it does in regards to women and entrepreneurship.
Siatini Uganda is Southern and Eastern Africa Trade Information and Negotiations Institute. Siatini Uganda works on trade-related issues, that is tax, investment, and physical policies. Siatini Uganda works on a program of women and economic justice. So, and that is why we are here. We are passionate about women. We want to see our women benefit in trade. So we work with women entrepreneurs, and these are the women-led businesses as well. And these are women MSMEs. We cluster them as women MSMEs, women in the micro, small, medium enterprises. Yes.
Okay. Well, we see that 40% of US-based businesses are women-owned. Is it that good in Uganda, or are we still lacking in the number of businesses owned by women?
We find that 90% of the private sector is led by MSMEs, and majority of these are women-led as MSMEs. Yes. So women take over the biggest percentage of the MSMEs. Okay. They will cover the micro and small.
Okay.
And the medium enterprise is quite more dominated by the men.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But we still have business moguls that are in Uganda that are dominating that field. And among the people that we know that are dominating the field in Uganda, we have people like Ruparelia, the Ruparelia family. We have people like Maria Chiwanuka, those people who are in the top level, who are leading the women in Uganda when it comes to the big companies. Now, let's look at the challenges that women face in starting businesses. What are those challenges that stop them from owning the middle income or the middle sector businesses?
One of the challenges, some of the challenges actually, that the women are facing is limited access to productive resources, limited access to short and long-term financing, limited information, and then limited awareness of the existing market. So, however, amongst those challenges, one that stands out is limited access to short and long-term finances. So that is still an impending factor for women to not just be the Chiwanukas in the medium, that has kept them in the micro and small sector of business.
And why is it that women are underrated when it comes to entrepreneurship? For example, if I go somewhere and tell them, you have a business and I want to be a partner, they underrate the ability of women to be in partnership or to even start a business. Well, let's have the conversation in that line and then talk about what exactly women offer when they come into a business, company.
Now, I think Personally, one of the major reasons why women are underrated is the multiple roles. women are split. They are the caretakers at home, but as well as they're the nurturers of their businesses. So the reporting time of a woman will not necessarily be the reporting time of a man. So that becomes a fear. So now someone will think about that. The nurturing grows. Tomorrow she'll be pregnant. Tomorrow she'll be in maternity. So some of those factors are impending them. Then the stereotypes. It is a stereotype. People think that actually women are not, are not business oriented.
Okay.
Yes, so it is a stereotype. However, it is not the fact.
Let's crush the stereotypes.
You find that actually women are the most committed. You see, we are more committed at home. We are more committed in business. You find that women are nurturers. When a woman starts up a business, she'll be very passionate about it.
Okay.
She'll see her business as a child. However, these impending factors are the challenges that actually impede, that stop women from competing favorably in the business world.
Yes. But would you agree that women are better financial managers than men are?
Of course, they are. It comes from commitment. It comes from well, how can I term it? Financial managers, women will see something grow. They want to see, they are nurturers. It comes from a nurturing element in us. So yeah, I believe that we are better than man. Once we hold something, we commit to it, and we want to see it grow.
Well, the
so
concept
sustainability is a nature of women.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, the concept is give a woman a house and she'll make a home out of it for you.
Yes.
Give a woman a baby in the tummy and she'll make children out of it for you. So when we're given something, we multiply it and make it bigger and better. And you also agree that, see, once women are in homes and we're managers in homes, so we have to make sure the home runs in the very minimum amount of money there is.
Yes.
So I think that is the concept that makes us better financial managers when it comes to businesses.
Yes.
Let's talk about the bill that is being discussed in Parliament, the succession bill and the will and all that. Why has it been so hard in the African society for women to be able to, one, amass a lot of wealth and be better than their husbands, and two, be able to inherit wealth both from their parents and their husbands?
I still think it's a gender stereotype. You'll find that in northern Uganda and eastern Uganda, women are not supposed to own property.
Okay.
It has been worked out in the central region. Somehow you find that men leave property for their girls, and they still realize the girl children and the women, as well as now you see they sort of leave a bit of property in the wills for their wives. It is, and also Western Uganda as well. But however, in the northern and eastern Uganda, there's still a stereotype that women do not own property. Women do not own land. Women do not own any investments. So stereotypes are still an impending factor.
How does that affect women flourishing in the business community?
Like I said, the biggest challenge affecting women right now is access to short and limited financing. We believe that once women are sorted in finance, then they shall have capital, they shall have access to markets, they shall be able to register and license their business and formalize their businesses in general. However, they do not have the collateral. And you find that these financial institutions, you find that they will need property to be able to give you a loan.
Okay.
You need land. However, women do not own lands. They do not have land titles. They need homes, houses. Women do not own property. In general, you find, I think, 10% of the women entrepreneurs own property. So this has become a challenge. So this succession bill comes in to support women to be able to inherit the property.
Amen.
From their fathers, from their husbands, to be part of it. You'll find that a man has only girl children, and then it's the relatives taking his property when he dies, and that is unfair. So there should be fairness in sharing of these resources, sharing of these opportunities and benefits.
Well, aside from the succession bill, what other policies can be put in place for women to be able to flourish in the business community or flourish in general?
Gender-responsive legal frameworks. here, gender responsive, we're talking about licensing, registration. Actually, for the women-led businesses, since they're still micro and small, these businesses, actually, they should be free registration of these businesses to support formalization of businesses, to support them to move from the informal to the formal sector. Gender responsive policies. This is the government policies that they are designing, for example, the succession bill. Is it gender responsive? Are they looking at the facts that, yes, even a man who has had only girl children, this girl can actually be his heir. Yeah. So we are looking at policies that are gender responsive. If they are discussing the inheritance and property bill, then they should look at succession, that even a woman, a girl child, has a right to succeed over a male figure. Then those are gender responsive policies. Yes. Then gender responsive packages, financial packages. Yes. Now some of these government has put in place. Yes, government had. These are some packages that are called the stimulus packages. These ones government put in place as a measure of curbing the impact of COVID-19 on businesses. So like I told you, women lead businesses take up the biggest percentage of the private sector. So these are packages that are available for women to take advantage of. There are quite a number of packages. There's in yoga. I think yesterday on TV I was seeing on the news when women are saying women have actually not been able to access these packages, but they are there. There's also a direct subsidy that that was directed to entrepreneurs. Yes, this is also another package to benefit from. Then also women can can join the circles. There's a package specifically designed for women by Microfinance Support System and the Ministry of Finance. Yes, and this package is given to circles at local level, district level. So if these women in their districts form circles, they can go and access these finances. Yes, so some of those are also access to finances. UNBS should make it flexible for women to standardize their products, standardize their businesses, acquire the certification stamp so that they can be able to compete in those big markets.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure all the women out there have heard you on how they can get money from the government through circles and in yoga and all that for them to start up their businesses.
Packages,
Now, you, Juanita, is one of the people that have been responsible for women-led startups. Now, what are some of the sectors that women can venture in and you know, favorably compete in?
So import substitution has also been one of the measures that came in as a response to COVID-19 after the value chains were reduced. Yes. So government rethought the imports it was bringing in. So government, the national budget is allocating more money to import substitution. So which industries are these? The textile industries. Women in that industry can become bigger. Let them acquire registration for those industries. Let them improve on their products. Let them increase on the productivity.
Is that the sector where women in Uganda, in the small businesses,
yes, in the micro and small.
Yes, most of them
so
are
many
in the textile industry.
in the textile, tailoring, they're around there. So also the arts and craft industry. Yes, also the government is allocating more money to the tourism industry, and there are quite a number of women who own tourism companies, tours and travels. So these are areas to benefit from. There is also, then I talked about the stimulus packages. Please, women, do your best to access these finances, because these finances, they don't exactly need collateral for you to access them. You just have to form groups to be able to access these funds. Then there is also the UWEP fund. This is under Ministry of Gender. The beauty with this fund, it is designed for the women, and it is more user-friendly. It also offers skills training for the women, and then they will see your business thrive. They make sure that they see your business thrive, and they will give you a grace period. The UEP fund is also a loan. It is in form of a loan. However, they give a grace period to allow your business to grow, and then you start paying back the installments. However, it is also dispersed off to women groups. So women can join groups. Then also something else, another opportunity, women should join networks. Women networks. There are so many, Siatini being one of them.
Okay.
There's Uzia, there's Uel. The challenge with women, with the stereotype and then lack of confidence, you find that most of the women-led businesses do not live to see their first birthday. Most of them. And that is a challenge. They easily drop out of business. But however, when you're in these networks, you are given this information, there are these supportive systems that will help you thrive in the business and be more resilient.
Okay.
So we should also join the networks.
Are there businesses that are male-oriented that women cannot do?
No, I don't think. Because I think you have seen in this COVID era that women are also bricklaying. You'll find that on construction places, in construction companies, women are also taking up this. So it's an era for women to take over the male-dominated activities. I don't really think there is a business that stops a woman these days. They can be anywhere. They're in the army. Yes, that I would think that would be the most complex of them all. They're in the army, they're bricklaying, they're constructing, they're in the manufacturing industries. However, we need to push them to be able to take away the informal stereotype. Women should be more tax compliant.
Okay.
However, the government should also put in place tax amendments that are flexible to support women. To be tax compliant, to stop running away from the Musolo man.
Don't you think such policies will make women lazy? Because we're looking at equality and women empowerment, and that means that we should be on the same table competing with men. Isn't that how it's supposed to be?
No. We cannot compete with men because by nurturing we are different.
Okay.
And that is where people confuse gender equality. Gender equality does not mean that a woman has become a man. However, gender equality means that women should participate equitably without any limitations. Yes? So, when I talk about tax, we have to also bring in the fact that we are still vulnerable. Women entrepreneurs are still vulnerable because of all those impending factors that we've talked about. So, however, how do we pull them up to a place whereby they compete freely with the men? We can push them up by those tax amendments, removing VAT on basic goods and services, goods like salt. These are mostly used by women. Removing VAT on basic services, health services. They should be cheap and affordable.
I hear you.
By offering childcare services for the women. There's still a challenge in the maternity unit. These services are not there. Women are still suffering in these areas, the health areas. But also, above all of this, there should be common user facilities in the market areas. Have you looked at the marketplaces lately on the news to see how women are surviving in the market areas because of the curfew hours and they have to sleep over? There are no common user facilities. So marketplaces have to incorporate all of this to be able to support the women to be comfortable and also very competitive and for their needs to be addressed.
Well, what business have you owned yourself?
Me?
You.
Okay, yeah. Personally, I've owned a parking lot.
Okay.
Yes, a parking lot, and yes, I've owned a parking lot and a washing bay. Yes, and which had a restaurant in it. Yes, impressive. So I had 3 businesses in one.
Impressive.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've had liquid soap business before, so I've owned a business before, so that's a good way to go. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for giving advice to women out there, because we needed to have this information as women about where we ought to go to in order to have these packages and stimulus packages for us to start businesses and then for those businesses to survive, of course, before the first incubation period, because we
Yes.
know that businesses in Uganda do not survive in the first year of it
Yes,
started.
of
And I
it
hope
started.
that you, as Siatini, ensure that that happens with women.
Yes, but above all, to put an emphasis is that we as Siatini believe that once the financial challenges of women are met, yes, there will iron out so many challenges of women, especially registration, licensing, all those, response to taxes,
Yes.
compliance, standardization, because all these need the money, and also the products need to be up to standard, which also requires finances.
All right.
However, we also encourage the government to be more gender responsive before they formulate the policies. They should be proactive, bring women networks on board, for example, Siatini Uganda, bring the women entrepreneurs on board, bring CSOs on board, so that before they formulate a policy, they have all this incorporated.
And you're there to help
Yes,
them through that. Well, thank you so much. And we've given the different kinds of businesses that women can start. One of them being, of course, gardening and landscaping, the ICT sector, the taking care of children, fostering, and all that are businesses that women can go into. Restaurants. These are things that we know as women.
Even those
want
women
to
who are
do.
still who are home and are not working should be paid for that work, caretaking at home. Yes,
so
women
start
should.
a home care at home, where
Or a
other
home
women
care
bring
at
their
home,
children
where
to
other
home.
women bring children.
Exactly.
Even the husband should pay their women for being housewives.
Well, I like
That's
that
work,
last
yes.
part. I
They
like
should
that
pay
last
them.
part. Husbands need to pay women
Yes,
for
for
taking
staying
care
home.
of your children and staying home.
Yes.
Now, on that note, we'll take another break and come back with Angie. Stay with us.